One small moment can change your entire day. A single comment, one look, one careless word, and suddenly your heart feels heavier than it should, and your mind becomes loud with thoughts that refuse to settle. Most people lose the situation right here, not because of what happened, but because of how they reacted. The real battle is never outside. It begins quietly, inside. The one who stays calm on the inside is the one who wins the situation on the outside. Once, in a quiet village, there lived a man named Thomas. Thomas was strong in body, respected by others, and capable with his hands. But there was one thing he had never learned: peace. If someone spoke harshly, Thomas answered harshly. If someone pushed him, he pushed back harder. He believed this was strength, but every reaction left something behind.
You don't belong in this village.
Each insult stayed with him. Each harsh word followed him home. He carried them for days, then weeks, then years. Every hurt became a stone, and every stone was something he chose to pick up. Without realizing it, Thomas placed each stone into a bag on his back. At first, the weight felt manageable, but slowly his steps became heavier and his back began to bend. Soon, Thomas walked through life tired and tense. The bag dragged behind him, his face grew dark, and the world around him began to lose its color. Flowers bloomed, but he didn't see them. Laughter echoed, but he didn't hear it. His mind was always somewhere else, carrying yesterday into today. One morning, Thomas decided to leave the village. He believed distance might clear his heavy mind, so he began climbing the mountain path behind his home. The sky was heavy with clouds, just like his thoughts. Each step uphill hurt more than the last. The higher he climbed, the heavier the bag became. Then, through the mist, Thomas noticed an old merchant walking toward him. The merchant carried only a small bundle. His steps were light. His face was calm. The merchant stopped and smiled, not with pity, but with understanding. Thomas dropped his bag to the ground. The sound of stones hitting the earth echoed loudly. The merchant peered inside. "What kind of stones are these?" he asked. Thomas picked one up and looked at it with sadness. "These are the insults," he said, "the lies, the harsh words people threw at me." The merchant looked Thomas gently and asked, "And why do you keep them?" Thomas looked down. "I don't know,"
You must follow
he
this
admitted,
path to find
"but
what you
when
are
I'm
looking
hurt,
for."
I carry it." The merchant smiled and bent down, picking up 2 stones from the path. They were identical. He placed one stone into Thomas's hand, then he dropped the other stone back onto the ground and stepped forward freely. "The one who hurt you," the merchant said calmly, "is like the stone on the ground. He threw his words and walked away. He feels nothing." Thomas tightened his grip on the stone in his hand. "But this stone," the merchant continued, "this is your reaction. You chose to carry it, and that choice made your journey heavy." Thomas stared at the stone. For the first time, he truly understood.
What should I do now?
Slowly, he opened his fingers. The stone fell into the dust. "How do I stop carrying them?" Thomas whispered. The merchant placed a hand on the heavy bag and said, "Leave each stone where it falls." Tears filled Thomas's eyes. He removed the bag from his shoulders. The stones rolled away down the mountain. For the first time in years, Thomas breathed deeply. The pressure left his chest. The sky above him turned blue again. Weeks later, back in the village, someone shouted at Thomas. He paused, and for the first time, he did not pick up the stone. This is what winning truly looks like. Not shouting louder,
You need to
not
get out of
proving
here.
someone
We don't
wrong,
want you in
not
this village.
carrying the satisfaction of a final word.
How could you do
Winning
this to
is
us?
walking
Look at what you've
lightly
done.
through life, without carrying what was never yours to begin with. After that day on the mountain, Thomas returned to the village changed. Not because the people around him suddenly became kinder, not because conflict disappeared, but because something inside him finally became quiet. He noticed the weight was gone, not just from his shoulders, but from his chest, from his breath, from the way his thoughts moved. For the first time in years, his mornings felt open, not rushed, not tense, just open. He began to notice things he had ignored before: the sound of water moving gently through the river, the rhythm of footsteps on stone, the warmth of sunlight resting on his face. Nothing extraordinary had changed, and yet everything felt different. The merchant's words stayed with him, not as a command, not as a rule, but as a quiet reminder that followed him through the day. And now that reminder is meant for you. At the end of each day, before sleep pulls you away, sit quietly, not to fix your life, not to solve every problem, just to return to yourself. Turn off the noise, put down the weight of the day, and let the room become still. Think of one moment from today that still feels heavy, a disappointment that stayed with you, a message you reread in your mind, a look that made you doubt yourself for a second longer than necessary. Do not judge the moment, do not defend yourself against it, simply notice that it is there. Now imagine that moment as a stone resting in your hand. Feel its weight, its texture, its presence. Notice how naturally your body tightens when you hold it. Your fingers grip, your shoulders rise, your breath shortens. Then, without drama, whisper softly, "This stone is not mine." Not angrily, not forcefully, just honestly. Breathe out slowly, longer than you breathed in. Let your shoulders fall, let your jaw loosen, let your breath remind your body that it is safe. In your mind, place the stone on the ground. Do not throw it away, do not hide it, just place it there. Leave it where it belongs, in yesterday, in a moment that has already passed. Then take a step away from it, one calm step, not because you were afraid of it, but because you no longer need to carry it. Do this every night, not perfectly, not with pressure, but with patience. Some nights will feel easy, others will not. That's normal. But slowly, something changes. Your pauses become longer, your reactions become softer, your awareness begins to arrive before your anger does. You start to realize something most people never stop to question.
Get out of this
You
village!
cannot choose what others say. You cannot control their tone, their timing, or their intentions, but you always choose what stays with you. Reaction is not automatic. It only feels automatic when we move too fast. The pause is where your power lives. One calm choice can save an entire day. One slow breath can stop a moment from becoming a memory. One released stone can prevent a habit of heaviness. Life does not become perfect, but it becomes lighter. Problems still appear, people still speak carelessly, moments still sting, but they no longer follow you home. Peace does not come from the world becoming gentle. Peace begins the moment you decide not to pick up what was thrown at you. So walk lightly, react wisely. Not every battle deserves your energy. Not every word deserves your weight. Not every moment needs your response. Strength is not loud, control is not aggressive, and calm is never weakness. Your reaction is your burden, and it is also your power. Choose what you carry. Leave the stones behind and allow your life to feel light again.